You have to warm it up. I'm not sure what. They might be scratching the door. Roof done? Get your roof done?
Not tonight. See, and I think part of the reason it's not working is because the computer to the Wi-Fi here. And that's every time we've done one of these, that's been the case.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he does good work.
Yep. I call this meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. Yep. Do we have any?
Roll call.
Yep.
Gavin Parrott, President.
Here.
Sharon Rancourt, Board Member. Here. Josie Reisner, Board Member.
Do we have any department heads today?
Yes, yeah.
So, I see that we do have Amy and a couple others present. If you'd like to present anything to just get started before we get into the typical meeting minutes and covering previous business, if there's anything you'd like to discuss first.
I'm Mike Reagan, Kosciuszko Republican Chair, and there is talk in the county of closing your poll. And that meeting is coming up in a couple of weeks. And as your chair of the party, I'm absolutely opposed to closing that, and I'll be voicing that opinion at the meeting.
Is that?
Can you elaborate on that?
When it goes Edward Green, Sydney, and Wino Lake Senior Center. And I just don't agree with this right idea.
So that would mean our polling location at
Whatever county, those would be the two closest.
Gotcha. Okay,
Which you had to do last time because of the water
correct.
that you had to do. That's been fixed, so we wanna continue with polls.
Is that meeting open to the public?
Yes,
Or
it is.
It
The
is.
election board meeting,
What date is it?
August 24th at 11 a.m. at the clerk's office.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think I have any questions.
I'm here to see an update on the park. So Lisa and I have, I'm gonna use this, Lisa, before I get it to you. Lisa and I have moved forward and we have submitted the CAP application as well as the K-21 application. These were applications that you had approved to be able to submit. So this, I did not print the CAP one because the CAP one isn't as detailed as this. So I felt like this was the best representation of the project. Shows the narrative, gives the project summary, and then the cost estimate, some potential drawings of what the playgrounds would look like, and the proposal, the potential archway, as it was noted for Benny when he donated the land, that he wanted it to be named after his folks. So the Benny and Molly Memorial Park. So the archway design of what that would look like. So something to note, we had unfortunately found out that the Norfolk Southern grant is not available for ML Alliance to apply ×2. So we do have a different grant that I wanted to bring to your attention, that our Game Time grant that came from Sinclair Recreation is something, it's a very easy grant. It, I believe, is $84,358, which is actually more than the $50,000 that we were going to apply for at the Norfolk Southern. So in order for myself and Lisa to apply for that, it's a very simple application. We would just need approval for that because we did not receive approval for that application in the first round. As I stated, it would replace the Norfolk Southern that we found. They've changed it and they're not allowing 2 applications to be put in for one organization. Even though they're 2 separate communities, they will not allow that to be done. So if you see that right here for the budget summary, Sharon's the right place, it's right here. So the application, the budget summary. So of course it removed the Norfolk Southern, which was $50,000, and added this right here. So, which is actually more money, which is great because the archway is something then that can be doable because of the additional funds that have been provided through the grant with Game Time. So. Any questions about the?
What's the timeline then for when will we hear from Zimmer and Game Time and CAP?
Yes, so the CAP, Lisa, you should potentially receive an email, but they will be asking for us to sit down with them. Have they sent that to you yet? So what the timeline looks at is that we did put the K-21 application in the round August 1st. So I believe it's August, September. I think somewhere around October we should hear that. Yes or no. Hopefully it's a yes. It should be a yes. But and then for the CAP, we should be hearing from the CAP committee sometime in the next week or so, just asking for us to sit down to talk through the proposal. So that has been applied for and basically is first money in. Game Time I have not applied for because we had not officially received the approval from the town board to apply for that one because that was replacing the Norfolk Southern. So needed to get that approval today to be able to go ahead and do that. That has to be in, I believe, by October 1st. And then the Zimmer Biomet, that is pending, I believe, a county council appointment to this committee at the Community Foundation to approve those funds. I believe they're going to be doing that tomorrow. And then Sue Ann Mitchell will be working with Zach Drips to be able to distribute the funds. So that was funding that we had, myself and the Community Foundation had applied to the Zimmer Biomet Foundation as a last money in for communities like Sydney and Claypool or small communities that potentially may not have as many financial opportunities. So that money, I wanted to receive $150,000 and they gave us $100,000. So the hope is that we can split that between 2 communities. That will be a decision not made by myself, but that is what I believe that they're suggesting so that that money can be used to help with some of the cost, upfront costs that Sydney would need to be putting towards the finalization of the design. So hopefully that's going to be a quick appointment and then execution on the part of the county and MACOG to make that happen. So,
is there a required match for Game Time?
So there will be, I think it's by December 31st, there will be a payment that will need to be made by the end of the year. But the hope is that all of those grants that's why we apply for all the grants ahead of time. I think it's $105,000 is like a down payment. But unless those grants are actually received, then we will not move forward with that down payment. So
Is there a match for game time?
there's no match,
No match.
just the down payment. So
Okay.
to be able to receive that grant, you have to have the down payment.
Okay.
So, but no match. It's just an outright grant.
Have you worked with game time before? or-
Atwood is how I heard about them. So Amy Irwin over at Atwood, they were the first community to work with them. She speaks very highly of them, and that's why we called them. One of the main things that we found to be very helpful was that it's not a traditional company in which there's a large design engineering cost. They actually roll those costs into the work because they have a competitive bid process, which actually covers all IC code, Indiana IC code for purchasing. So they do all of that work for the small communities. It's specifically helpful for the small communities. So Amy is having complete success with them over in Atwood, and said that they've been very easy to work with. I found them to be easy to work with for putting the proposals together for both Sydney and Claypool. And the woman who is actually our sales, whatever, I don't remember her business development or whatever her title is, she used to work for Fort Wayne Parks and is an expert in all things parks. Very easy to work with, very accommodating. And so, and she's the one that came to us with this grant opportunity, which was great. As we were looking at the costs, I think we sat right here in this room and talked about the challenges that Sydney would have as they tried to execute a traditional park project, and she came up with the grant opportunity for us, which is very nice, especially since we found out that we were not able to have the 50,000. So not only did she match that, but brought an extra, $34,000. So that's very nice.
So what you need from us tonight is a vote to go ahead and allow you to
Work with Lisa to get the game time application submitted.
So then I make a motion to move forward with the game time application.
Yeah, and I will second that.
Thank you. We'll keep you posted. We'll get that in, and then I'll be back most likely next month as well, just to talk hopefully with more information from Cap. We have been approved for that. And then at some point, you will have to finalize the selections on the playground equipment, just to make sure that you have that in, I believe, by somewhere between October and December. I need to get that specific date. Right now, we're worried about the selections. So we'll keep you updated on that.
Mike, before you run out, the
primary will be in November.
okay, so May of 27 and then November of 27.
And no officer over to the chief, but it's January 1st,
Okay.
28.
When it comes time for election, do all the seats go open at the same time? So it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, whoever puts their name in.
And
It's
filing
on
will be like January 8th through February 7th, or I know I'm missing a day one or the other.
Yeah.
In that time frame will be the filing period for all of the municipalities in the county.
Does the election clerk send out information then about that to the town to post, or does it just get posted in
Yeah, we
general?
post all the news outlets.
All the news outlets.
And, we'll be sending stuff out, and I'm sure that the opposition will too.
Okay. Thanks.
Since we don't have the police department head here, I'll just briefly cover the police protection. So it was done July 5th, July 7th, July 9th, 10th, 14th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd, and 27th, various times throughout that period, meeting our quota for the month, obviously. If you want to take a look at exactly what time frames were done. And then with that, I will move straight into old business, and specifically, do we have anything to actually new to report for old business
Just
other
the
than
date
park?
of that. And
Okay, yeah, I thought so. So for the town cleanup day, just to remind everyone, we have set it for September 19th, 2026. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was picked prior to you
Yeah.
even knowing.
Just so you're
So,
aware, I just wanted-
covering the old business, I'll go straight into new business and open it up for any comments, questions, concerns from the floor. Okay.
We do need to circle back around and put back on the agenda ordinance review. We had started that in,
Yeah, that was July. Do.
I'll put it back on for September.
With that, I will start reading off financials then for the month.
hold on, a second.
Sure.
You had left me a text message about a bench. Joe
Oh.
needed to fix a bench.
Just wanted to make sure everyone on the board was happy with it. The way that he did it.
Bench up here.
Yeah, he was where we at. Yeah. I'll be honest, I have not yet taken a look at it. I wasn't really paying attention whenever I went through. I don't know if you've even taken a look at it yet yourself. For 7 cents, $602.25, $414.12, $463.99, $397.94, and with withdrawals for rent in the amount of $250, payroll in the amount of $1,066.72, return in the amount of $2,140, withdrawal in the amount of $100.53 for REMC, $22.31.
Give the vouchers to them.
Yes, right here.
What was the return?
The return is what was also in deposit. It was the $2,140 for manual ACH for a voice company.
It was just enterprise. And it corrected it.
Duke Energy in the amount of $346.10, AT&T in the amount of $105.86, and then payroll in the amount of $2,140 for an ending balance of $24,175.89. Payment for Duke Energy in the amount of $16.02, and payment for Duke Energy in the amount of $757.77 for an ending balance of $15,600.
Sewer review.
Yes.
And bring the,
And for change was credit accrued in the amount of $104.89 for an ending balance of $164,776.81.
Connected us to that Indiana publicly for those two things that they provide to work on that, and I believe we potentially have some to figure out what.
And with that, I'll go
I
back.
should have done it already. Your newest county councilman, Will Stockton, is with us tonight. He is at large, so he is one of your 2 at large or 3 at large council members. So reach out to him if you have any concerns or anything.
Anytime the county can help you guys out, just let us know. Your 3 county council at large would be me, Rachel Rhodes, and Becky Rhodes.
We need a tornado siren. I've been working for 6 years to get something down here.
Who's in charge?
So we were told it was FEMA, and then there was a guy who lived in Plymouth who, I can't remember his name, that wasn't in charge of it. And then I think he was retiring, and I think it just got lost in the shuffle.
We just found out about a grant application that was here and gone before we could breathe, that we applied for Etna Green to test to see if they would give the money. It was something that the EMA actually let us know about. So if we're successful with Etna Green, it might be something Western letter of support from the council person here. But they may have an opportunity if it's something that's consistent each year. So we just learned about it. So if they do it again next year, then we'll make sure that it's
On the radar.
what was that?
Just on the radar of it.
Reach out to Kip and say, hey, what's going on with EMA? Can we get something down here?
Yeah, I think my rub was when we were asked to sign the multi-hazard mitigation plan. And we did, but there's no county participation in mitigating hazards, meaning, tornado sirens, et cetera.
Which I believe Kip is trying to change.
Yeah, I mean, likely that comes down to where's the money coming from.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So happy to check into it and see what's going on with it.
I would love that. Thank you. Butch, you have nothing? Rick?
Still waiting on the driveway.
Joe hasn't gotten there yet? Lisa will follow him. We approved everything, so the finance were approved. Tom, you have nothing?
On this park deal, you all are so big on putting this park in. After it's done, are they gonna be water supply there? You gonna have to drill a well? How about a bathroom? How about the upkeep after you get it built?
So all to be determined at this point. We don't even know if we're gonna receive all of the grant money and funding to get.
Right now, it's all too preliminary to even say that. We're not even certain what park we're looking at yet. We have a couple of options, but we have not finalized any decisions as far as that goes. All we're putting in place right now is the plan saying, hey, this is where it will be put, and this is the plan of how long we have funds for, and right now we're gathering the funds to put the next plan into place. But we're nowhere near finalizing any sort of decisions.
Finalize the plan.
Yes,
But the grants have to be approved for all of that
Yes.
to fall into place.
Yeah. So until we have the funding and until we know exactly what we're working,
So hopefully we'll know that by October or November.
So come back in October or November to those meetings. We'll hopefully have answers for you then.
so I will move on to 8 p.m. That was, yeah, really.